Louisiana Beer Review Special Edition. Boulevard Rye on Rye Revisited. Well, I tried this last year and had mixed feelings about it. I wasn't too thrilled with it. So I'm curious to see how it's going to work out this last bottle I have. It's a rye ale, and it's aged in rye whiskey barrels. So that's why it's rye on rye, or should be maybe rye in rye. Boulevard Brewing Company, yes, Kansas City, Missouri. The ratings on Beer Advocate, Rate Beer, and Untapped are very high, but I just don't find what I'm encountering matches that. But that was the first three bottles, 2 solo, 1 shared. Actually, now that I remember, 1 solo, 2 shared. Okay, so I'm going to check it out. And this Delirium Noel tulip glass, we get a thin cream colored head, and the appearance is kind of a reddish ale, like rust red, slightly translucent, definitely opaque, can't see through it. I'm hearing no crickle crackle, no fizzing or anything. So now it's time for the nose. Yeah, you get the rye spice, just like you get with rye whiskey, that spicy, minty type thing. It's hard to describe rye to anyone who's never tasted rye bread or drunk rye, or has drunk rye whiskey. I should say has not drunk rye whiskey or rye beer. So it's a unique flavor. It's hard to translate it or explain it. So yeah, it has that, you get that rye whiskey barrel in the nose for sure. So let's go with the taste. Sweetness is pretty strong, so 3 out of 5 sugar cubes. Bitterness is very low. Take another sip to give it a more accurate score. Accurate evaluation. 2 out of 5 hop cones, so it's not particularly sweet. It's definitely not bitter. There's the rye note going. You get the rye whiskey flavor. So the rye grain and the rye whiskey barrels, so those do work side by side. Medium body, not heavy bodied. The finish, let's say 55, 45, 55% dry, 45% sweet. So it's just tipped over into dry. It's almost a sweet finish, or it's heading that way. Still, it's kind of bland, just like the first 3 tasting. It's a good product, but like $16 a 4-pack. I wouldn't pay $4 a bottle for this beer. I would pay $4 a bottle for some other Boulevard beers. I have not been totally thrilled, with their things. And I'm sorry to say that, but that's just how it's worked out. We don't get their products in my town. If I go further into the New Orleans metropolitan area, yes, Total Wine and More will have it. Maybe like Zupardo's or Canseco's. Dorignacs, I think has a couple of them. I saw this in Hammond, Louisiana. A few of the boulevards at the Red, White, and Brew. So it's around there. They were introduced into our area in 2022, so they're starting to expand. I did see the wheat, their unfiltered wheat ale somewhere. So yeah, that's their flagship. I first tried that in 2007. Over 3 years before I even started doing video reviews. I certainly don't hate it. I don't think it's offensive or off-putting or nasty or anything like that. It's just kind of dull. So, and I'll say that if it's the case. And I find that it is the case. So, will I buy some more Boulevard beers in the future? Yes, I think I will. Even the expensive ones, oh yeah, I'll check them out. If they turn out nice, I'll say it. If they're dull like this, I'll say that. So the score here, not really picking up the booziness. I'll feel it later at what is it, 11%? It's not going to hide it. This company founded in 1989. 12-ounce bottle. Yep. Oh. 12.2%. Yeah, it doesn't taste like it. I was thinking 11. So 12.2. Yeah. I'm glad it's only 12 ounces. I've got some. No, those are 10%. Never mind that. I'm gonna go with 90 out of 100, an A minus, 9.0 out of 10. You say, well, that's really high. It is high, because there's 89 other points that could have scored at, but there's also 10 more that could go above it, right? 91 up to 100. Actually, world-class beers, I score above 100, but those are so rare, it's not worth mentioning. Even to find a 100 out of 100 beer is not at all common. Find them in the 90s? Yeah, that's not too hard to do. So, even at a low price, you can find them in the 90s, I think. There's a lot of companies, macro, middle crow, micro, that produce excellent beers at all price ranges, as I've noticed over the years. So anyway, 9.0 out of 10. Disappointment, because I'm paying like a 97 out of 100 price, but I'm getting a 90, so it's not really working out. So, but anyway, it happens. And I've got some other expensive beers, relatively expensive beers coming up. The Lagunitas Willatize 2022 edition was quite expensive, really. I thought usually Lagunitas, you find them $13. This was $15.95, but it was an expensive store, and it's the only place I saw it, so I could complain, but then I wouldn't have been able to get it. I don't believe. And I have the KBS cherry chocolate or chocolate cherry stout. Got the deal of the century on that, but that's another story also. So 9 out of 10, and I'm going to end this review by saying y'all go to Kansas City, Missouri, and tour the Boulevard Brewing Company. I'd like to do that myself.